3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to CBCTV, the weekly, well, I hope it's weekly, podcast for the channel where we talk about all the movie news from the last week. As always, I am Mitch. You can follow me at Mitch692 on Twitter, and I'm joined by Armin.
Hey guys, you can follow me on Twitter at Arminis, and pretty much anywhere else that's my name, so find me there.
I'm also joined once again by Sean.
What's up? You can follow me anywhere. Just Google my name. I can't remember that stuff. So.
But of course, you can Google the chat. You can Google the channel, and you can follow us anywhere by googling Comicast. There you go. We have a very Marvel Disney heavy show today because we talked about DC on the show yesterday, and I need to clean myself off with some.
Yeah, I'm feeling dirty.
With some puppet Disney stuff.
I'm pretty skeevy.
So jumping right into it, everyone expected it. I don't think does it even count as news that Netflix have dumped Punisher and Jessica Jones?
Not to me.
Well, apparently to Bernstall and everyone else, it was a surprise. Because didn't they find out through social media or something?
I'm gonna say that was just a generic answer to they knew. It was.
I imagine that they actually both knew. It's like, oh, it's happened now. Okay.
It was kind of like, if you go and check Ray Charles's Twitter, even he saw it coming. So, why is anybody else surprised?
Yeah.
I mean, Matt Murdock saw it coming too.
Yeah, the writing was on the wall once you canceled Daredevil. Everything else is gonna die.
It's like, Iron Fist was the one where it's like, fair enough.
That was the first shot.
Yeah, it's like, fair enough. I can see if anything's got to go, that one. But the minute they went with Daredevil, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, if you follow these types of news, you kind of had to see this coming. It was down the pipeline.
I always made the joke that Jessica would be the last one to leave, and the one that always want to go first is the last to leave. Power and character.
My whole big thing with this is clearly the age has ended, of Marvel and Netflix, but the moment this was announced, it was a kind of like a ill-conceived deal because we knew Disney was already then thinking about developing some sort of service. So it was this was clearly them testing the water and these were the guinea pig characters, quote unquote, but they're not over. That statement that was issued right after, it's this is we gotta just wait.
Yeah. It's like I don't understand why people were saying that, they're done, you'll never see them again. It's like they're not gonna let these shows go. Especially Daredevil. That's a golden egg.
Well, I mean, without saying anything specific, if you read the open letter from Loeb, you can kind of read into it and read between the lines.
Yeah, it's very much like I said it on Twitter. It's like it doesn't sound fine.
No,
in fact, it goes to be continued. It's like it's obviously working.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the D Plus app was announced, I mean, this was in the pipeline for years. The minute they were interested in buying Fox and they were in talks in buying Fox, that was the second plan. I mean, second phase to that part. These shows were just hey, this is what the shows are going to look like. This is what we can offer. The only reason they dealt with Netflix is because Netflix basically put up the capital, to do most of this. So
and it's also a popular platform. Everyone had Netflix, so it's look, this is what we can do. It's kind of we're going to use you if you just give us a bit of money.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, Netflix is pretty much the only. Between that and Hulu are the only two online subscription services. So,
when that deal was conceived, Hulu was you might as well say Z tier streaming because Netflix was already so ahead of the game on them. So it was there was nowhere else to go.
And Amazon Prime wasn't around at that point either. So
yep.
Or if it wasn't around. There was no way that they were going to go to Hulu because Fox owning majority, a part into that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was probably never an option. Netflix was probably the only real partner. Whether that was a good partner, You know, I can
mean,
attest that it wasn't.
You could make the argument that in the end it wasn't, but at the same time you could say in the end it was. No, because you've got this fan base for these shows.
Yeah,
want
right. It's like a
back.
jumping off point.
Yeah, it's like, you know, but people don't even really like Jessica Jones that much from what I've seen. But like season 2, so to have everyone still want these shows back, like,
well, the way like I look at it is like, would you rather have gotten none of these or all these as the way they are, and they're probably going to continue in some capacity? It's like, no, I'll take them the way they are, you know.
Yeah. And the baby agrees.
I mean, if you look at the like the seasons 2, I mean, even if you look at the season 2 of Iron Fist, there was course correction, so they were definitely listening to like the concerns, and they don't want to kill their own brand, so they they were trying to change it to make it like, you know, like, I'll be honest with you, as soon as I heard about when these shows were up, I was genuinely excited because most of the characters I was into.
Mm-hmm.
So
they've got a very in the words of like Ming-Na from Shield, they've got a very small but active fan.
Yeah.
Very, very.
Well, it's also like kind of funny how it's come around, because remember 2 years ago even, something gets canceled. Oh my God, Netflix got to save it. Now it's like, no. Netflix is canceling everything now, you know?
And they're canceling everything that isn't theirs. It's like, we've licensed this out, let's get rid of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the streaming wars, really. Like, everything's got to be your own stuff.
Yeah, you got to look at it this way. Like, most of these shows, they're not theirs. You know, they're not making 100% of the profit.
Despite what Netflix think. It's not theirs.
Yeah, but I think, I'll be honest with you, I think these cancellations kind of backfired on Netflix in a way.
Yeah.
You know, like,
people I've seen that are like, well, there goes my subscription.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just that. It's just like, you know, even when the Iron Fist was canceled, everybody said they hated it. But like the minute it was canceled, people were like, "What?" You know, like, can't believe this is happening. You know, like,
I think a lot of that was due to the cliffhanger for season 2. Like, you can see the obvious direction where, like, you're gonna get what you want, and you're gonna get it exactly how you want it.
Yeah. I'll be a little candid about it though. Like, you know, from behind the scenes, like they didn't see this partnership lasting forever. So, you know, like,
at the same time, I don't think anyone really expected it to last forever.
No, I mean, like, from like behind the scenes, like, I feel like, you know, I think Marvel was not, I don't want to say playing Netflix, but like they took the brands, like the people that like, not many people like normies would know who most of these characters are. Jessica Jones was practically unknown to people outside the comic.
I mean, even in comics, she has one run.
Yeah, no. and like things of Iron Fist, and I think Daredevil was kind of stained by the movie, and like I think they used the brand to, you know, rebuild these characters from the ground up and build a fan base. So when, you know, that eventual, you know, foray into digital streaming, I mean, you know, they got a foundation. They had a fan base coming back into that. Mm-hmm.
And it's also like, you know, we're talking about streaming and building a foundation. I know we have a topic coming on here in a little bit where that's literally the core of what we're going to talk about. That kind of piggybacks off of Netflix. There was no 100% monetary gain for them. Like you look at Altered Carbon or the new Sabrina show, that's their shows, you know, like that's, but Marvel.
Is Sabrina their shows? Because they brought that from CW.
Yeah.
I think they bought the rights to it.
Yeah, it's which is why I guess they're not connected to Riverdale directly, because of like they outright just bought it, but who the hell knows now?
Well, I think the Sabrina one was kind of weird, and from what I've heard, I don't know the specifics, so I can't really say, you know, like the specifics of how the deal was, but I know that there was kind of like a situation with the rights to Sabrina and how it was handled in Netflix. I mean, you know, I mean, I think they are trying to buy the rights. I don't know. You know, I might be talking out my butt, but like,
but
from what I heard, that there was a situation that they didn't own the rights.
It was still the same people making it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was a proper weird one.
But,
but yeah, it's I don't think anyone expects the Marvel show to be gone forever. We talked about it last week. The gap, if it has to be 2 years, isn't any different to what's happened before with the shows.
That gap is nothing. That's literally nothing. Like,
I'm giving you, without giving you a winking emoji right now. So.
All right, take that as a year from now, 2020. I'm going to put it right here, right now. 2020 Iron Fist Season 3. Come back. That's my prediction.
Pretty much, like, if they do come back, prepare the Season 2 of Luke Cage and Iron Fist to resolve those cliffhanging. That's what they want to do.
See, I know you're in New York because I can hear the cops in the back. You're literally living in the Defenders right now.
I'm having, the hand, they're training lasers at me right now, so threatening my dog. So
it's the NYPD, it's the Marvel York.
Yeah.
Oh, they're getting closer.
Yeah,
they found out.
Yeah, I know.
Just like, shit.
Jesus Christ.
But he's talking about details. Oh, shit.
But I have to hide now.
To try and save Sean's life, let's go on to something else Disney-related. But, same ballpark. Apparently, there's a lot of Star Wars Disney Plus shows in the works, which doesn't surprise anyone, I think. But,
not with what they paid for it.
Yeah. They've made their money back. But apparently we have, what's the ones that Hybrid Network did? Because there's another bit that I don't quite... it's the Knights of Ren, Captain Phasma, a young Princess Leia, which please God no. Rose Tico, and the one that every 13-year-old wants, Darth Bane.
I'll be honest with you. There's two of them I've never heard of, and I'm pretty sure if you're not a detective, I'm pretty sure you can guess which two. There's one of them that they're just not going to touch, man. They're just not touching.
The Leia one.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
It's weird because it wasn't supposed to be public, but it's out there now, anyways.
After the backlash of having a young Solo, do they want that with a dead actress out there now? Someone taking on that ain't. Come on, guys. Nope.
At the same time, it's weird that it was on that survey that they passed around.
It is.
Yeah. Well, they put fake names and fake stuff on there.
Yeah, sure. That's fair. Like Captain Phasma, I can kind of see. She's shown up twice and died twice, but come back once. So she's not going to come back in 9. But
plus, there's I think the 2 movies that she was in, they kind of missed the mark with the character. They could have. They did nothing with that character in 2 movies. So
yeah, it's unfortunate that obviously she passed away, so they can't really pay off for that. But
it's like the Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, it's a weird scenario to be in with them. And Disney, obviously, Star Wars is gonna be. I know people are they're milking it, yada yada. Look, that's the nature of the game. It's Star Wars. Of course, you're gonna
the blue milk.
The blue milk.
They didn't spend however billions they did on this to not do anything.
Yeah, you're gonna see Star Wars for the next 10 years, man. When we die and this Earth is about to die, there's still going to be Star Wars shit.
There's still Star Wars.
There's still Star Wars.
Episode 312.
Finn comes back,
I'd watch it. Well, if I could, I'd watch it, but I'd be dead.
Yeah, you never know with technology now.
That's true. We can bring new people back. Hopefully, by the time that comes out, they'd have fixed the Tarkin CGI in Rogue One. They look less like rubber plastic, but
less creepy looking.
But there was also a couple of others, which there's a bit of a story behind this one because this report is saying there's a Kira and Landa show along with the Cassian one that we know about, but other people are saying that Kira isn't happening. It's actually Han and Lando that it is. But
dude, I will take whatever can get me more of
more
Solo universe. I love that movie.
I dug that movie. It wasn't the greatest, but for all the troubles it went through, I think it came out pretty coherent and fun.
I literally finished watching it for a second time an hour ago before this, and it's still horrifically too safe for me.
Yeah,
with everything where it's Han Solo, here's the Falcon, check, Kessel Run, check.
Yeah,
and it's but. It's fine. It wasn't horrifically made for what it went through.
Right, exactly. per the like details we know of what happened behind the scenes, which is like, oh my god, this could have been like a BVS or a Justice League, you know? So
I was expecting fan force.
Well, it turned out just like the World War Z thing. When you remember when World War Z was like in development for the longest time, and when it came out, everybody's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the worst movie ever." It turned out to be good.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I can watch this. You know,
it's definitely not unwatchable. It's definitely
yeah. I think some of the social media like journalists kind of like overblew it, you know. And
there's no middle ground in opinion. You can't just be like, it's fine. You've got to be, no, it was trash. No, it's the best thing. You know?
I mean, it was fun. That's what I mean, fun watching it.
I'd probably say it's fun. It's just
I didn't
fine
regret
fun.
not watching. Like, I regret watching Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah,
I regret that.
Yeah,
I didn't regret.
That was something I never. The interesting thing with a possible Han and Lando show, I don't know if they're separate or one, but it's like, are the Disney Plus shows going to replace the anthology movie they'll plan?
Please, because that would be a perfect choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a perfect place for these like spin-off movies and shows and stuff like that, and just keep the cinematic stuff as, you know, the main prime.
Yeah,
you know,
because like, I've always said on here, not necessarily this exact show, but like the main one, the movies one, like the anthologies are too much. Like having one every year. So, here's a big one. Here's one that doesn't really matter. Here's a big one. Here's one that doesn't really matter. Like that, it's too much, and you're going to burn out really quick on that. So like having, like, you know, do like a one season thing. Like the Mandalorian is apparently going to be more than one, I think, is the way they phrased it. But you know, like if you're going to pay off the Kira thing with Darth Maul, you know, that's a TV show. Like give me 8 episodes.
That is, yep.
Yeah. Well, I think with the Disney Plus app, I think it's going to like serve as an outlet for these like shows and stuff like that. And I mean, you know, way back when they announced these anthology movies, there was little to no development in this app. So yeah, of course they're going to say that these, the anthology ones are going to be in movies. But I think after the Solo thing, I think the safest part is to put it on the app, so it's not like.
It's like the Obi-Wan movie that's rumored to be in development that's been apparently there forever. Like an old guy in Tatooine doing absolutely sweet F-all. That's a TV.
Oh.
That's 8 hours of a TV show. Like,
also, it's like you have to think of Disney Plus has to build up a huge amount of content within the next couple years to rival Netflix. So within the next 4 years, Disney content like Star Wars and Marvel needs to be the driving force. Like that's business, you know. Like,
they need Star Wars to be that as well.
Yeah, the D Plus app is going to be for like the ancillary characters or the characters that are moving on from the movies to, because like in this day and age, this app and these other apps are, I mean, if you look at it, like just huge stars fighting to get onto like a Netflix movie or, you know, one of these things. So like this is where these characters are going to live. Like you see the Scarlet Witch, Vision, when they're not going to be in the movies anymore, they're going to be on this app.
That hurts my heart.
Oh, no, I mean, what I'm saying is like they're not going to be like, there's not going to be like, because like after Endgame, everything changes.
Yeah.
You know, like they're going to more focus on the newer characters. So these other characters are not going to go away. They're just going to be somewhere else. And then the way these contracts are, it allows it to be, you know, hey, Paul Bettany wants a cameo in a movie, he can cameo in a movie. They do that, you know.
It's like, we need these two for an Avengers movie. Let's just, you know, give them a one.
Yeah. And like once they, I'm sure, you know, I don't know for a fact because I've never seen the contracts, but like if their agents are smart, they're putting these clauses into these contracts because
especially now, I'd imagine. The way streaming is going and how it's getting bigger, you'd want that.
Yeah, like with the Scarlet Witch and the Division one, that's going to be essentially, that was renegotiated into their contracts. So that was a whole new discussion and like between the agents and the studio. So like if their agents are worth their weight in gold, they're going, all right, well, we're going to do these shows, but we want our actor or actress in, you know, every once in a while thrown into like one of these movies.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like just like
people like Scarlet Witch and Vision, like they're kind of perfect for that. Like, you can't read. You could do a lot with Scarlet Witch in the movie, but I think a TV show is probably a better route for that character.
More long form, like storytelling, because all intents and purposes, like this upcoming these shows are going to be more focused on these characters. So then focus on Captain America, Iron Man. It's just these two characters. That's the focus.
Yeah, it's
going to be intense. I know, like they should be start filming. They should start production of that pretty soon.
So aren't they starting Loki?
Email. Yes. Yes.
Which we'll get to Loki in a little. I should have saved that question for later on.
Sorry.
But,
damn it, Mitch.
But you missed the ball, man.
But I suppose we're all excited for what the Star Wars side is going to bring. Cause,
I think it's going to give it a little more of a refresh.
Yeah, because there's a lot more you could do with TV than you can.
Yeah, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I will take anything Star Wars you can give me. I don't care. I'm a fanboy. Just give me it. Like,
even if what if it's Darth Icky?
Give me Darth Icky. I don't care.
I'm all in, man.
Just give me everything. Give me the zooms lights.
What about a Jar Jar Binks show? Come on.
I'd watch it. It could be the Howard the Duck.
Honestly, Disney could probably actually make him a character that's worth caring about. So
that actor needs something, man. Give him.
As long as it's not the racist caricature he was in the prequel, that'd be fine.
Oh yeah. How about old man Jar Jar?
I mean, let's see where he died. The comic said he died in was it Tatooine? Is that where he died or something?
I still like the fact that, like, one of the theories of him being a dark Sith. I think that's.
I mean,
that's pretty fun.
If anyone's going to do it, Disney would do that shit. So I'd be fine.
Well, it's in one of the books. He's described as a lonely beggar who fell after the Republic. So I was like, oh.
Sounds like a high school guy I went to high school with.
I was like, if the comics don't do that storyline, then give me a Disney Plus show. Speaking of shows, we have our first look. Well, not everyone's first look, but Cloak and Dagger Season 2 had that trailer. Because it's coming out on April 4th. As everyone who listens to this knows, I will shield Cloak and Dagger to the end of my days and beyond that. So I'm extremely excited for this one. You could tone down the mayhem aspect. It's like, I get it, mayhem's the character.
I think I'm going to have to play a side note on that. I can't really talk too much about like that season. There's going to be some pretty cool things from what I've heard.
It looks really good. Like, it's,
I think there's a lot of payoff in season 2.
Oh, it looks like it. Like the whole drawing of the cloak. Like obviously you got the cloak for a little bit in the first one. It's like, let's actually give us the cloak in here. My question is, like you probably can't answer this one, sure, but like I want Tandy to get something. Obviously you can't get the typical like the cutout cross in the uniform.
Oh, that would be terrible.
It's never gonna fly.
Especially on CW.
Yeah, and like the Ultimates suit, like it's a bit high tech, but it's a bit pricey for a kid like that.
Well, I mean, what I can say is, if it's according to some of the like key frames I've seen, I mean, there's a possibility that something might.
That's all I needed. That's all I need. just a chance, small chance.
But the thing about the key, like seeing keyframes, because like things change between that. So don't take it like
So like, I don't expect a show like this to go completely like with Mayhem looks. You can see how they've taken it from the comics. Like she's wearing a jacket, Mayhem wears and everything. But like, I don't expect to see her walking around with like flies and stink clouds buzzing around her.
Right.
It's a bit much.
I think it would be very interesting to see CGI flies around someone.
Oh yeah, especially on a TV budget, like Freeform. I'm fine with that. Like if all it is like an eye color change and something, like it's fine.
I mean, there's a possibility of like those types of things being in the season 2.
Yeah.
I mean, from all intents and purposes, season 1 is always building forward. So, like, you can't have people running around season 2 in the same type of, they have to evolve these characters. So,
as long as the spirit of the character's there, and a little wink at like a costume, like how Tandy wears white a lot of the time. That's fine. That's more than enough. In the context of what the show is and how it's presented, it makes sense. It's fine.
It works.
Yeah. It's like Mayhem's female Punisher for all intents and purposes. She looks like female Punisher, so and for a character that obscure, I can't.
Yeah,
I can't really complain.
They pulled that one out for sure.
It's not like the Guardians uniform that I finally got for Rocket.
Did it satisfy you when you seen it?
Oh, I could have cried. I'm not even joking. That was my exact reaction. I've been begging for this. I just needed to stay. That's my only thing.
I mean,
it's like whoever takes over Guardians 3, there's like one requirement: keep the uniform.
Keep the uniforms.
Give everyone else the uniform. That's all I give a crap about. It's like you change.
You can get rid of Drax, but keep the uniforms.
Oh yeah, Drax can go. You can write Drax.
Yeah.
He's now Arthur Douglas.
He plays the saxophone in New Orleans.
Perfect payoff, and you haven't got to see him.
Gotta see Batiste.
But yeah, Cloak and Dagger season 2. It looks great, personally.
Yeah.
I think, obviously,
thumbs up.
Sean knows, so he's already there. Our last topic, Disney Plus. Loki gets a showrunner and its synopsis. The showrunner is the guy or one of the Rick and Morty writers, so you can kind of see the direction that's going to go in. Obviously, going to go very much in the comedy aspect. I can't remember his name.
Michael Waldron.
I
can't pronounce his last name. So.
But yeah, the synopsis is that it's going to be. I'm just going to paraphrase it. It's events throughout Loki's life and he's influencing human history, which I think not a lot of people expected that. They kind of want just Tom Hiddleston's Loki.
No, you'll get a piece of that, but most of it's going to be
It's like there's people saying oh no, it's Hiddleston's Loki. The official thing says Tom Hiddleston's Loki. It's like, well, if you actually if you read into it a bit more, going throughout human history, you can't be the same
person
the entire time.
Exactly.
It's like Thor and Infinity War was 1500.
What I really want to know is, are they going to reveal that Loki sabotaged the Last Jedi?
Oh, for sure.
I hope so.
That's episode 3 right there.
That's truly a villain that cannot be redeemed after doing that.
He was the one responsible for Phantom Menace.
So is this really going to be our Marvel Star Wars crossover?
Yes. I mean, for all intents and purposes, yeah. There might be an X-wing or two in there.
It's like Star Wars exists in Marvel, just not how you might have wanted. No.
You see him peeking behind George Lucas's bag.
It's like Kevin Bacon again. But yeah, if you look at Infinity War, Thor says his age, so defending how far back Loki goes, you're not going to de-age him or put makeup to make him a kid or something.
Exactly. I think you're going to see. I mean, they're obviously going to be casting a person that looks, in the realm of Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, some little kid, it's got long, greasy black hair. There you go.
But Tom Hiddleston will be bookending most of this stuff, anyways. He will be in the show,
right?
It should be.
It sounds very much like an anthology thing, where it's each week's a different tale. And
it kind of reminds me of American Gods.
Never
not
seen
so
it.
Much.
It's on my list, but never seen it.
Same.
It's interesting. It's an interesting show, but it's it basically like how God's influenced man.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's an
interesting thing because you have Eternals coming out as well, which is kind of a similar thing. They're at the dawn of man, and they obviously they play a part in human history going forward. But now you got Loki doing the same thing. So is there going to be? I assume there's potential for crossover anyway.
I was going to say a little crossover.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. You're going to see. I'm pretty sure you're going to see more obscure characters also introduced in that show.
It's kind of also is this why they're casting 2 certain Eternal characters right now? Or is that?
Zip my mouth shut.
Take that how you will, chat.
You got to remember, man. The hand is trained on me right now.
Oh yeah. You don't ask, don't get.
I guess with that in mind, the snipers are here to get me, so I shall take my leave from the podcast.
Before you leave, thoughts on Doom Patrol? I know you've done your review.
Real good. I love it.
Good. Excellent.
That's really it. I recommend people to watch it. It's really good.
Excellent.
Shouldn't that show been the first one out the gate instead of Titans?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That would have got people hooked more.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
They wouldn't be struggling if they had Doom Patrol first, but
For
Exactly.
sure.
hey ho. But thanks for joining, Army.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I'll talk to you guys soon, and see you guys later. Thanks for joining, fans.
Toodles. Later.
But yeah, so I've spoken enough about the Loki thing. Obviously, like we know it's happening. We know kind of the direction it's going to take. Like, people will probably get mad that it's not all Hiddleston all the time, but I can't see it being. Like, they'll go over it eventually.
I'm going to be honest with you. If Tom Hiddleston was in the show for all X amount of episodes, I think it's going to be more interesting to see. I don't know, just to see a different aspect. Like,
Yeah.
It's
it's more like they're the Hiddleston fans, not the Loki fans. It's like
exactly.
Let's evolve this character. You haven't since Phase 1, we haven't seen that much of him. He hasn't really had a chance to grow horrifically.
He's been in the Marvel universe a lot, but technically he's only been in it probably for an hour. A couple of hours. Total.
Yeah.
It's
just like people with the whole Gwyneth Paltrow thing recently, which is like, oh yeah, I'm done after Endgame. And it's like, she wasn't in the movies for as long as like Hiddleston and Odin and Hopkins were. So
she probably had like 25 minutes total, like most of. Yeah, with her, it's just like, okay, I mean.
She was never a character to like build.
No.
Like, if there's a Pepper show, I will watch it.
She's more of a MacGuffin in most of these movies.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate because you could do a fair bit with rescue, but
Yeah, well, I mean, you're gonna get something that in Endgame for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean,
but
if toy leaks are anything to go by, and despite what the Russo say, not all of them are fake. No.
Yeah.
Like, come on now, we know.
Unlike that trailer they cut that last
The trailer
from the Infinity War with everybody running at the camera. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the toy. Oh yeah, you mean the toys? Yeah.
Yeah, with the whole the rescue thing. Like, it looks nothing like any rescue armor before. So
yeah.
Like, why would you?
Yeah.
Don't give me that Russo. Like, we know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a specific reason that they put. I mean, a lot of these movies get like toys just to get toys. I mean, Iron Man 3 had a Star Boost, armor.
I mean, to be fair, with Iron Man, you can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's all, and that was in the movie for like a frame and a half. So.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna get rescue. You're just not gonna get a lot of it.
I would say you ain't gonna be able to tell me this. Do they literally play on the name Rescue?
I honestly have not seen the movie yet. So yeah.
Bugger, worth a shot. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, chat. Got to ask. Have to.
Hey,
it's kind of it's a perfect name for a situation, a certain character.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure that like that character is in the movie in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm purely just aside from the jokey like playing on the name part, I'm just expecting that everything's in there for the final fight.
Yeah.
It's like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, this is that we've done for a while after this movie. Let's just put everything in that last bit.
Yeah, let's throw everything to the wall.
Wants, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, at the end of Endgame, I guarantee it, like, you're gonna just see a mess of. I mean, not a mess. I didn't say that, but like, you're just gonna see everything. Like, it's gonna be a Jackson Pollock painting.
There's a lot. There's gonna be a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's gonna be intense. I'll let you know in April.
Which is, I imagine why Far From Home's out so soon afterwards, because it's gonna be our little guide through everything.
Yeah. I can't wait to that.
No, hopefully Sony don't muck up the timeline this time. I can't.
It's as long,
I watched that movie and it hurt so much seeing that 8. It's like it's a sick.
If we can just staple Amy Pascal's mouth shut, maybe we might have a chance.
I mean, if Pascal can just like not be there,
Yeah. I don't think her ego allows that.
No.
I think that's in her contract.
It's like if Apple just want to buy Sony and get rid of them, all's right in the world. No, it's fine.
Yeah, don't be too surprised when that happens.
Yeah. Say so. Everything's crossed for that, but I'm not going to expect it. No.
Yeah, you're going to expect a lot of toys for Rescue, but not a lot of. I see the character just like doing like rescuing. Basically, I don't, maybe fighting a little bit.
Yeah, what her whole thing in the comics is like she's not a fighter. She rescues stuff. She has magnets instead of repulsors. So,
yeah.
Which, if they're clever and they're smart, they'll listen to what I said and have her rescue a certain someone. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that would be actually interesting if she is the one that does it.
No, it's poetic, if anything.
But
with no hope of rescue, and I quote, wink, 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 wink.
I'll put more.
Along comes a purple and silver suit.
Yeah. I'm sure they're gonna make a Hot Toys of that for sure.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah,
hopefully it doesn't look like really gaudy because purple's another color.
Yeah, I don't know. They have a tendency to not Hasbro it up or anything.
Yeah, it's just. The purple from the suit that Paltrow posted, where she's actually wearing it. It was fun. It was nice.
It wasn't too loud. It was more muted. It almost like blue in my. I don't know.
It was very like a purple blue. I'm more used to comics Rescue, where it's that it's more red, like pinky red, but. It's fun. I get why you didn't do because you can't just have Woman Iron Man.
Two red characters.
Yeah. So, but you've already got Spider-Man as well. No doubt's probably going to have the Iron Spider.
As long as the armor looks just somewhat to pay homage to the comic, the colors are really ancillary to me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's got the silver there. It's half. It's
yeah. It's as long as it's not the Igor, suit, But,
I love that Eagles.
Yeah, I remember when it came out, and I was like, "Oh, this is the closest to Hulkbuster we're gonna get."
Yeah, I remember everyone going, "Oh my god, the Hulkbuster!" It's like, oh, it literally just is there to lift things.
Yeah,
that's just
it's basically a brace with legs.
It's like I'm a glorified Jack.
Until Age of Ultron, and then that was gorgeous.
Yeah. There's some moments you won't forget. It's always trite to always give it away.
Goosebumps, man. I got the Hot Toys of that one, and damn,
that's got to be so expensive.
Yeah, and it almost got a divorce out of it too. She wasn't happy.
But just look at it.
It's it's a work of art. It comes from Asia. Man. It comes from see, it's a part of you, man.
I did this for you.
Didn't work out. But yeah, the thing actually stands as tall as my my small kid. It's ridiculous.
Damn.
I basically got two kids. One that just sits on the side of the wall.
It's look, you can put him in it and it's fine.
It's
literally a babysitter.
I one time I did put it in the baby carrier in the.
Oh wow.
I got very weird looks.
I can imagine. It's just like, huh? Really?
Yeah, they looked like I was mentally just, like you checked out now.
Weird baby. But moving on to our last one, the show that I've watched. Episode 2 came out today. I haven't got a chance to watch it. I would have also brought up Deadly Class, but I haven't caught up on this week. Which, despite that, watch Deadly Class. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I still haven't yet to see that yet.
It's really good. Benedict Wong does a fantastic job in that show. Everyone does, but Wong is just that's what he was doing during it. That's why he left. I get it.
And I don't know if you know who Mark Bernarding is.
Yes, Mark Bernarding.
Yeah, he was supposed to be writing for that show, but they ended up going to. Yeah, he ended up going to Treadstone, another show that's for the Bourne series they're doing.
Oh right.
But he was supposed to. I was talking to him the other day, and he just said it out loud. I was like, "You can't take that back, man."
Yeah. Because I know him from the Kevin Smith stuff. That's what most people would know him from. But it's just I would have been interested to see Like,
he's a good writer. I mean, like, I don't know if you've I can't remember his comic books series, but like
he's done a couple of things, isn't he?
Yeah, one specifically it was like about a young black girl that took over a part of LA. It was like based on like yeah. But
I've
seems
seen
really
people talk about that. I've never actually read it myself, but I've heard good things about it.
Very interesting.
But yeah,
back to
it's a really good show, and I'll be
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Definitely check it out. I think it's only going to be 10 episodes, so like it's halfway done.
I think it's on Vudu. I'm gonna think about buying it anyways because I've been really interested in doing
I think you can watch it on Sci-Fi. It's not on Sci-Fi over there. Well.
Yeah, I don't have cables.
Fair enough.
I don't do cable.
But to be fair, not a lot of people do they really?
Yeah, I'm following the trend. Like
But Doom Patrol.
Yes.
From Titans, like the 4th episode, I was really excited for this, and then stuff came out. People saw it, and like, apparently it wasn't that great. And then it's come out, and everyone loved it. And I waited a while to watch it myself, and it's just like it's actually like I do not understand how you go from Titans to this.
Well, like that's my logic too. I was like, so you take the least of the like Titans, which is like half baked, put that as your premiere show, and then take the show that you put so much seems like you put a lot of time and effort into, and kind of just like, man,
Like, I don't know if Johns was writing the majority of the show or what, but it's night and day.
Yeah,
it's
you
absolutely
could tell.
night and day. Like, just from the opening credits, the fact that it has an opening credit sequence that's
exactly
probably on par with the Daredevil. It's not. You can just see that there was actually effort put into this show alone.
Yeah, and let's give him a round of applause for bringing back Brendan Fraser's career. Like
I will not do that because I did not need to see saggy white Fraser out. I did not need to see that whatsoever. The titty, I'm fine with. But like, I don't think anyone on like no matter what your label, what your preference is, like no one wants to see the Fraser butt. Like if you want
Gravity's
Hank Hill in
not
real
kind.
life, like that's Hank Hill butt right there.
Yeah, like Gravity is messing him up.
Like Gravity's not kind to certain people, and one of those people is Brendan Fraser. But he does a fantastic job.
Yeah,
like
and like
from like the stock car or NASCAR, whatever he's doing, like from that bit to the Robot Man stuff, he's fantastic.
And like Matt Boomer as Negative in Mr. Negative, which is like,
he's like the cast they've got it fits the characters perfectly.
For sure. It's like the only person I'm not really familiar with is the Elastigirl actress. I can't place her for some reason.
I don't think I've ever seen her in anything. If I have, it wasn't really memorable. But she does good as Rita. She's fantastic as that character. She brings across like what they're trying to tell you she is. I can't remember the girl who plays Crazy Jane. One from Orange is the New Black.
New Black, yeah.
Like, I at first I wasn't sure because like when they changed the personalities, like, I like that there's a little visual cue to tell you that she's not the same person, and like obviously it's not just like it's the same person body, like she grows in this episode. But like they kind of stuck to very similar personalities early on, and I was like, they're not really doing what I. Not expecting, but then as the show goes on, it's kind of like no, actually they've done a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
I'd say my only real problem though was Alan Tudyk's Mr. Nobody. I can't look at. It actually gives me a headache.
I'll be honest with you, I did not know it was Alec Tudyk until I looked it up.
I'd say I always thought Alan Tudyk was going to be Mr. Negative, and I don't know why I got those mixed up. I think because they kind of look the same. But...
How do you feel about Timothy Dalton, like as the Chief?
As Chief, I think he's much better than the guy they had in Titans.
Yeah,
I don't know. He just fits better.
Yeah,
like,
he brings a certain charisma to the.
It's like the guy in Titans wasn't bad, but it's like. I don't know, it wasn't irreplaceable like a Fraser as Mr. Robot.
Well, I think Timothy Dalton brings a certain, like, I don't know, like, he's a semi-famous actor, and he's still got some, like, fans. So I think there's a big name too, and at least in its cast, anyways.
Oh yeah.
And what do you feel like the Cyborg versus? How do you feel about that one?
The Cyborg.
So far,
I haven't seen the Cyborg in the show. I don't know if they've introduced him yet. He wasn't in episode 1.
Yeah, I think it's episode 1. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
I think it's episode 2 that he.
So the one that literally came out today. Yeah. I haven't watched it, so I'll let people know next week on that one. But from like the stills of everything, he looks better than the movie, apart from the fingerless gloves, which is a really odd choice. But
well, considering budgets.
So considering the budget, he's got a wonky eye as well, which I cannot even see.
Yeah.
It's just like, did no one check this? But it's fine. Hopefully in the show it's not noticeable. I don't know. I'm hoping that he's actually like he brings more to the role than like Ray Fisher did, because I imagine that he won't, because it's a TV show. He's gonna have something to do, but.
Well, like from the trailers that I've seen of season episode 2, it seems interesting. Where like from that, it seems interesting how they're playing him, because I think like you said, the Ray Fisher one was kind of lackluster. They kind of wasted him on that.
Oh, but like we've had like 4 different cyborgs in like the last year.
Really?
There was the Justice League one. There's Titans one. There's one in the in Young Justice and something else. I think one of the anime.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's kind of like the year of Cyborg right now. It's kind of weird.
It's like he doesn't have a movie.
Like, he does nothing. He's never done anything. He's just there for a caddy in the Justice League. But yeah, he's everywhere.
I remember him in the Super Friends. Like, this is how old I am. I can remember that. But like, I always dug him in Firestorm just by aesthetic look. I felt it was kind of interesting, but like you're right, the character just brings 0 to the table.
Yeah, and Eli, unless it's in the Teen Titans, which everyone kind of knows him from anyway.
Yeah, that was a different take for sure.
Oh yeah. It's just like just keep him on the Titans. And if Doom Patrol leads to him being on Titans, fine. But then I can't see this Cyborg, if he fits in with the Doom Patrol, fitting in with the Titans, because it's such a different character. Like,
yeah, this is like, and it's a way different, like, I don't know, like aesthetic. That show's like like comparing apples to oranges, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just crazy. Like, it's so shocking that just the difference between it. Like, I'll keep going on about it until I'm blue in the face, but it's just like, how?
Yeah.
Like, how and why? It's like, why is Doom Patrol your better one?
I would love to have been sitting in the room when they're casting these characters and just see what are they looking for in these characters.
Chat, I did say there was 4 different Cyborgs. Yes. To be fair, I didn't say Teen Titans Go. I said something else, but that makes 5. Teen Titans Go counts.
Outsiders.
But no, it's... And like, even just like the whole tone of the show, like, Titans was all gritty and edgy, and you had to be this and that, and like stab a guy in the dick. And this one's like, it's got like a Deadpool fourth wall break narration to it. It's just like, wow, really?
The show seems really like, from like seeing trailers and stuff like that, and just watching the first episode, it's a smaller scale but more interesting story.
Oh yeah, it's definitely more like the scale. It's just like, I think they're just going to be in the one town. Yeah. But like, what?
And it looks. I'm loving what they do. Like, with each character is kind of like slightly different from the comic book, counterparts or whatever.
Oh, I know nothing from the comics about Doom Patrol. Absolutely nothing. So this is like my first introduction to it. So it's like, I say this is my first. The Titans episode was my first. Like, I knew of them and what they looked like, but I never actually knew. That much.
They're interesting, but I'm definitely digging, of all of them. I think Robot Man's to stand out for me. Like,
yeah. I mean, this entire episode was like from his perspective, really.
Yeah.
And like, I think because it's Fraser, that's going to be the point of view character.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain because I like Fraser as Robot Man. I like the character.
He could be the. Yeah, I mean, I just love the aesthetic of the character, how they like they could have gone so many different ways, but I love that Neil Gaiman, version.
Oh yeah.
That they used with the, with the Ramones T-shirt and leather jacket. It's like, all right.
I say it fits just like, no, because obviously they're all from different time periods. It just fits.
Yeah,
and,
it seems like all to fit together like a, I don't know, it's just like the whole look of it. Really, I really dig it so far.
I still kind of wish it was Beast Boy and not Cyborg, because having two robot android people on the same team is weird. It's an odd choice.
Do you think Beast Boy will like show up in the show?
I'm not going to put money on it, but then again, I suppose he could, because he was originally from there. But I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised.
Because there's also another character that like his name is like Mr. Metallo. I mean, chat, you might correct me on that. I'm not sure, but like he's like, I don't know. He seemed interesting in the comics, but
yeah. I say from like the episode list as well, like, they're going to be bringing like every weird. Like, I think they're actually going to do something with Danny the Street as well, which is like where the house is.
I'm definitely kind of in love with the show. So
yeah, definitely. It's like it's everything I wanted it to be. So
I almost like just quit the service altogether after Titans, and I
think most people did, especially after Young Justice. Just like, oh no, we're done now. We watched what we wanted to watch.
Yeah, I definitely dug Young Justice, but like that Titan show was just like, wow, man, like why? It's a big question mark for me. I was like, why would they do this?
Yeah, you can tell it was rushed out.
Yeah,
you can tell there wasn't a lot of effort and thought put into that.
Or AKA the WE way,
Yeah.
Let's just put it on there.
Especially like how they, the actual season finale of Titans is going to be the season premiere of season 2. I don't understand why they cut the end of their show off to be the first. Like, it's such an odd choice.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, it should be typical. Like, you should kind of like, think, like this is the way they do things over there anyways. I mean, look at their movies. It's all the same, man. It didn't surprise me when they did that. It just kind of disappointed me.
But hopefully, because no doubt this whole entire service will get folded into WB, because why would you ever have to?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put money on that. That's what's going to happen anyways, because
I think that's just like what Deadline's hinting at. It's like, they're going to take it. It hasn't done.
Well, it just doesn't make any sense to have two different services from the same company. Just throw it all in there, man. Yeah. Make it $10 a month or whatever, and they just have access to everything.
Especially when it's like a brand that's where it is right now with DC. Sure, the comics are doing fine, but the whole movies, like, people aren't that hot on them. Like, yes, you've got Aquaman, which is doing well, and hopefully they can ride that wave. But it's just like.
Pun intended.
Perception, like, actually, that was completely unintentional. Did not mean to do that. I was like, oh yeah, but hopefully they can turn their like perception around for people and actually.
Well, I mean, the whole app thing was a really good idea. Like, have everything there, but just the execution of it. I mean, like, there's like, if you want to read the comics, you have to wait till it's curated into that. You can't just go, all right, I want to read this, and then watch that.
And it wasn't even everything.
No, it's like curated selections. Like, it's just kind of weird, Like,
and so, what was it? I think they did something with the Robin. They were like, I want to read up about Dick Grayson. It's like, here's like a Tim Drake run. It's like, what?
Yeah,
Tim Drake has nothing to do with Dick Grayson. Well, he's got to do with Dick Grayson, but it's a different character.
It's like, it's like saying you want to read about Superman and giving me like, like Green Lantern or something like that. Here's a different character, but it's got the same costume.
Like, hopefully, if they do fold over, they like Warner Brothers go like, let's just keep Doom Patrol, and like hopefully Swamp Thing does well, because I want it to do well. Yeah,
I mean, I mean, all intents and purposes, James Wan's involved, so there's got to be a level of like quality about it.
Isn't he only producing that?
Yeah, I mean, producing nowadays means absolutely nothing, but like, I think he brings a quality to it, at least, because.
So I know he's talked about it, but I don't know how, like, the extent that he's actually got his fingers in.
Not much, I'm sure, but like, you know, like if he even brings a 0.5 percentage to the show, you know, maybe the horror aspect of it, build that up. I think it would be interesting, as long as it's not the Man Thing, you know, from that 1998 Marvel movie.
Oh God,
where you see the creature maybe 5 minutes in an hour and a half.
See,
I mean,
with like horror stuff, I don't mind that. But then again, when, you know, if it's like, I don't know, is it like Man Things? I think you could make that work. You know, he doesn't talk, but then again, at the same time, you could do like an inner monologue stuff with him.
Yeah. But I mean, I think if you're going to call it Swamp Thing, the character itself lends it. I mean, he talks. Yeah. So he should be able to, you know, like he should be able to
like
carry
stand
the show.
there and just carry the show.
Yeah,
let's
you
not,
know,
Todd McFarlane this with Spawn and have get a named actor like Terry Crews and not have him.
God. I mean, Jamie Foxx.
Oh, Jamie. That's not right.
Either way, well, I mean,
Jamie Foxx. I don't know why.
Well, because I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine was on last night, so I mean, that could be it.
Actually, I know. I was watching a Crackdown Let's Play, and Terry Crews is in there.
I would love Terry Crews as Blade. As
Spawn. Oh, he'd be great.
As long as he, you know, shakes his pecs, I'm good.
Yeah, like, let's not Todd McFarlane something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially after they should take the goodwill that you built up with Doom Patrol and just, you know, and keep that momentum going, you know, with, you know, like they should learn from the mistakes that Titans presented to everybody. You know, that show, I mean, I think a 5-year-old with you know, with some sense of reading could pull off a better show than that was presented to us.
It might have had some semblance of a plot.
Yeah. And I think it, you know, as long as they continue the momentum with the Doom Patrol, I think I'm hoping Swamp Thing brings I kind of like Swamp Thing, and I would love to see what they do with it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a character that I think they need to do something.
Yeah,
and obviously they are doing something, but like, and hopefully
something good.
Hopefully the suit or whatever they go with doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I mean,
that's hard for anything. Like, I think a movie would struggle with that because.
Yeah, I mean, well, I you know, I don't know what the budget would be, you know, and like.
I don't think it's going to be high. I think Titans was only like 20. I don't know where the 20 million went on Titans, but
it went to someone's pocket. That's what.
Yeah. Maybe John's was like, "I'll use this money to like finish Doomsday Clock off."
Yeah, it's like let's take the money and put it into Doom Patrol and just call it a loss.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's like, we're at Titans, just take half of it for Doom Patrol. Like, we're gonna need this.
Do you think that someone was watching the dailies on Titans and going, "Oh man, this is bad"? Just put it out because we gotta put something out.
If there wasn't, I'd be surprised because like they must have known that wasn't great.
Yeah, I can't see someone going, "Yeah, this is the greatest show ever. This is gonna be the best."
So unless you're like 13 and you're at
or you have
it's like, yeah, he stabbed a guy in the dick.
Or you have schizophrenia. Either.
I mean, yeah. But,
I don't know. You know.
What were you gonna say, sorry?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, if Swamp Thing's successful, I mean, what would you like to see him bring to that show,
to a Swamp Thing show?
Yeah, if it's like successful and like.
I'd like them to explore like the green and the red and like all the colors and like how that system works with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously, like I don't expect it to be in season 1. If it is, great.
Yeah,
like,
or at least hinted at in season 1.
Yeah, it's like let's deep dive into that stuff because you can get really interested in that. And that's, you know, you can tie in like Beast Boy and everything. Yeah. Even though he's green and he's part of the red, but it's what it is.
It's like, what other characters you want to see like get a show?
Get a show from DC. I don't know really. I'm not like a massive DC guy. So that's a real hard question for me. I think Blue Beetle would probably be for a show. Maybe like Booster Gold and Blue Beetle do that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Like I think you can make a really great like half-hour comedy out of that.
Yeah, like sort of buddy cop drama.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's literally what they are. What else? If New Gods wasn't being made into a movie, you could maybe make a New Gods show.
Sort of like what they're doing with what possible Sif TV show, where it's like,
yeah, you could like base it on the female Furies or do whatever, something.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd be kind of cool and interesting, just like a low key, New Gods show, like Game of Thrones type.
Yeah, it's just like, and anything obscure and weird. Just give me that.
I would love to see Phantom Girl or something like that. Like, I'm not a huge DC fan, either, but like some I don't want to see like a mainstream, or semi-mainstream character. I want to see these. I think what Doom Patrol did for me is like, I love these obscure characters. Yeah. And I want to see how crazy this can get.
So the obscure characters right now, what's going to keep this whole entire bubble going? Because look how weird and different they are. Like, we never seen anything like that before.
And you'll never see the movies.
Chat says Justice League Dark. Bring me Constantine back. Get me Matt Ryan.
See, Constantine, I could see working, but like Justice League Black is more cinematic.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I think.
Or the Demon, that would be good.
Yeah. It's like, with Swamp Thing, like, give me Constantine in that show as well, because they kind of like go side by side. Yes, he's in Legend of Tomorrow chat, but it's a different universe, so who cares? Right.
And I guess you could just like, if you were going to do something like that, you could eventually fold it into Doom Patrol and like Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Maybe like Zatanna. Like, I know they're looking at her for a movie. Like, put her. Like, she's probably far better suited for a show. In that way, you can start building up
the magic aspect.
Yeah. So, especially if you've got like Swamp Thing and Constantine. If you do that, and then you bring her in, like other people as well.
Plus, you wouldn't have
probably the angle to go for a TV.
Yeah. Plus, you wouldn't have to spend too much on costuming.
Yeah,
get some fishnet and one piece.
He's literally wearing a coat and a tie. She's in the fishnets and the waistcoat. So
I think the most you would be spending is like the magic effects. But if the ECW could do something like that, then
I mean,
DC
just give it like the Doom Patrol budget. You'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, how much do you think the budget was for like Matt Ryan's Constantine?
Oh, no.
Couldn't be that much. They pulled out for the special effects.
So they did a really good job on that show. That show, I never finished that show because it still hurts.
You don't want it to end.
Yeah, it's like, no, if I never finish it, it doesn't end. It's fine.
Well, that's another thing. If like if the Doom Patrol and the Swamp Thing does succeed, I mean, why would they bring Matt Ryan back? Because A, he brings a fan base, and B, everybody loved that show. So
well,
why not just say
he's on Legends of Tomorrow? She's gonna be like the CW did get to him first, but
that's true. Damn you!
But, you just say that. Oh, I jumped through a portal. Done. He did a magic spell and he came over to DCU.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy fix. I mean, God, it's TV and comics. I mean, you can throw anything and say it's done by this, and people would buy it.
And it's not like Constantine's a DC imprint. He's under Vertigo, which is a DC imprint, but he's not in like the DC. He's fine.
What about like books of magic? I think that would be interesting.
Oh, like a whole Sandman thing.
Yeah. Well, like Tim Hunter and Books of Magic. I mean, I felt like that was like the Harry Potter that went dark.
Yeah.
And I thought that was interesting.
That would be something. I'm surprised no one was done like that universe thing yet.
Yeah. I mean, there was a long time. I mean, Sandman's been in development for like decades, man. But
yeah, it's true. It's
I think
how is it like not come out yet? Like, now's the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like the perfect opportunity to say, hey, here's everything you want. It might not be a big name star, but it's here.
I think also just like the name. I don't know if Sandman's gonna be like a crowd drawer.
Well, I mean, like it's the app. I mean, you can make that stuff like a fan base for that. That's I think if you put out a good show, quality, I think people will like it and then return.
Yeah. They just need a budget for Sandman.
Yeah, they shouldn't really have a problem. I mean, they're backed by one of the richest like media companies. I mean, I just don't understand like a budget every show should have a relatively low budget, but I mean, or a budget, but like, you know, these people, they're owned by the company. There's nothing
I
holding them
imagine
back.
like the Warner Media Services ones are going to have a bigger budget. And like maybe take the Disney route where it's like, 8 episodes, here's 100 million, go nuts.
Yeah, like, well, I mean,
because they're going to have to spend it to keep up with them. You know, they can't get away with being cheap anymore.
No, I mean, you can look, you can take a modest budget and make something out of it.
Oh yeah.
It's just you gotta make sure that the quality control is there.
Yeah. And you've also got to pick the right property. Like, don't do something nuts with like 20 million because it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. You shouldn't see like an Aquaman or something like that character in a TV show because you're gonna be spending like 80% of your budget just on water effects. You know that look good.
That's why you put Aquaman in the hoodie.
Or a Speedo.
Yeah, or Smallville hoodies. No, let's have a Cyborg in a hoodie.
Yeah, oh man, that was
bad.
Oh, I remember when they were doing that, and I was like, okay, and then I seen it, and I was like, what?
It's like you've gone too far now. Like,
did you go to a Hot Topic and pick that out of the?
Pretty much.
They're just metallic, you know.
You can wear Cyborg too. There you go.
Yeah. Just put like one of those mask hoodies over, and you just have one eye covered with a hood.
So bad.
Yeah, it was. I thought the worst one was that Doomsday one. I was like,
the Crow
and Darkseid, yeah.
Yeah. Oh God.
Jeez Louise, man! Like, if you can't do it, then don't do it.
I'd love to know what they're thinking at that point. But that's gonna wrap up. That was a discussion on Doom Patrol, but it turned into something a bit. So I hope everyone enjoyed listening to this show.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you had to leave a bit earlier, but that's fine. So we will catch you all next time.
Later. 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 later, 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 later,